How was it that last night there was an attack on the citizens again? Around 10 injured, 2 arrests. I think it was Cambridgeshire down in Huddington train station. Not too sure of the whole events, what took place just yet, but Siddiq Khan has now described the incident, the attack, as horrific and very concerning. Shouldn't he think it was concerning when the attacks took place the other day, when Wayne lost his life, when the other people were stabbed, over the 7 people in 2 shootings across London? Where was Khan and Keir Starmer's announcement then? We haven't seen one. So when Wayne lost his life, rest in peace, obviously Keir Starmer, there was no statements. But when the synagogue attack happened in Manchester, Keir Starmer and all these people, Mahmood with her DJ name, yeah, there was not one statement made about the events what took place. And then they want to give 10 million to the Muslim community to protect mosques. Protect mosques from who? I don't know. So I find it very deeply concerning that Sir Mark Rowley, Keir Starmer, etc., David Lammy have not made a statement about the past couple of weeks of events, what's happened. And it makes no sense. I find it very concerning that they're allowing thousands of undocumented, unvetted men who we know nothing about wander the streets of the nation, putting around 600 to 800 in army barracks, in RAF bases, where our military, where our army, our forces used to serve and sleep. You're allowing these migrants to walk into schools. I can show you so many events. The migrant who was charged for the man for the stabbing in the bank. You got the migrant who was charged for the stabbing of the hotel worker. You've got the migrant who was charged for sexually assaulting the woman and the child in Epping. He was then given 12 months. He was then accidentally let out by HMP Chelmsford. Then he was then located in Finsbury Park, given £500 and sent home. Haven't we seen the last migrant who was deported and given cash, whatever, to be deported? He came back on a boat. So how is this happening? You're talking about the 1 in, 1 out scheme when it's really 1 in 1,000 out, or the 1,000 in, 1. And now it's not even just about immigration. I tell you where the mass immigration affects many factors of our life, you know, and people don't think it does. It affects our housing, our schools, our NHS, and people sitting there, all these stand up to racism, saying everyone's welcome, no one's illegal, human rights, this, that. No, I'm sorry. We need a reset button for the economy, for the country. We need to hit reset and go back and send everyone home. It's about sending them home. You go to certain areas like Dewsbury, Bradford, Hounslow, Woking, Derby, Nuneaton, all these places, Whitechapel, Tower Hamlets, very, 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 very highly run Muslim areas. I'm not saying I've got anything against the Muslims, but it's not about diversity and division and integration at that point, because when they've got so many people to one area and you own more of the population in the British community, in the British areas, I don't think it's right personally. But my main concern is the illegal immigration. And people say about the Australian, oh, that's what I was saying. I explain how it affects the housing, the NHS, the schools. So we've only got a certain amount of funding for the NHS, for the social housing, for the schools. Siddiq Khan's even closing down the police station in Bexley Heath, which I don't understand why. No funds. But you got funds to pay for the migrants. So they issued out more appointments for the doctors and all these things, but then when you've got thousands of people here and they've got NHS buses in the hotels, you know, and it takes weeks to get appointments, weeks.
Mostly white girls.
And they get it all on the doorstep in the hotels. They get the phones, the laptops, everything. I've even seen them smoking drugs. And then I get arrested under the medical, when I've got medical cannabis. But then I see the illegal smoking. Sir Mark Rowley don't want to do nothing. The housing, they're putting him in these hotels. You say you're going to close the hotel scheme by the end of 2025. So where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Into our economy, into our communities, into social housing, into housing. We've seen it. AY already followed the coaches up to Chelmsford. Was it Chelmsford? Into the apartments, luxury apartments, what people would dream of. You know. So realistically, they need to go home. They need to sort that. They spent 5 million on Operation Sterling. Home Office spent 5 million on Operation Sterling to track down all the illegal bike workers, all the illegal Uber drivers, all the illegal people working restaurants, food chains, everything. 5 million. And then they've spent over 1.9 billion last year on the borders. How are the borders working when you're allowing thousands of people, and then you're claiming Human Rights Act in asylum? These people ain't asylums. These people are illegal people. They're coming illegally under the Immigration Act of 2023. These people are illegal. Very, very, very illegal. It's not even just that. They're committing severe crimes. I know our people commit these crimes, but when you look at the stats, their crimes are higher. Also, we don't know who these men are. We can't process them into the system if we don't know what their real name is, their real date of birth is. Some of these people could be claiming to be 17, 18 years of age, when little do we know they're probably about 29, 30. You know? So, when is this going to stop? When is Labour, where is Starmer, Shabana, David Lammy, Rachel Reeves, all of them, should it calm? When is everyone going to realise that the nation is in a threat? And it is terrorist attacks, because you're causing terror to the nation, you're erupting terror to the nation. So, when you're sitting there going into